Marvel Tokon beta is finally over, and we have some very interesting feedback for the game. I think the feedback is pretty mixed. I personally really like the game. Obviously, there's some things that can be improved. We'll talk about those later. But you have players like Sonic Fox saying Tokon is one of the worst modern games I've ever played. Be honest. It's actually earlier today, and it is the FGC Sentinel. You might think, oh, this is a fake screenshot, right? I mean, you could just look. Proof. This is Sonic streams yesterday. Marvel Mid-Con Fighting Souls. He goes into a little bit more about why Sonic doesn't like this. Yeah, it's way too slow, and I expressed that so many times to all the devs and it has been well received. Just feels so stale, and they remove literally all mix. We'll talk about that because Sonic's not the only one giving some feedback to Marvel Tokon. Let's talk about one that's a little bit easier to address. Zoning is too strong. I mean, you can just take a look at this clip real quick, and if you're new to this game, you've probably ran into this quite a few times. In fact, my first game online, I was like, oh my god, what do I do against this? And I hit the lab. Bro, there's no way! I'm getting farmed by someone doing this. About this. Obviously, there's some things you could be doing better, but third Marvel Tokon match, I get matched with a guy who spent 30 seconds spamming projectiles. Here's another example. This got 2.5 million views on Twitter. Quite a lot. Yeah, this is a real game. Yeah, welcome to Marvel Tokon. So I think this one's easier to talk about, then we'll talk about Sonic's thoughts. So zoning in Marvel Tokon, it's good, right? In fact, I set up a recording to kind of show just, hey, this can be, I don't expect a new player to have all the answers to this right away, right? But there's like a million things you can do. Again, they were playing Shuri. There's a lot of character specific stuff. But for example, you can do medium fireball in the air and punish. You can do super dash. Oh, I actually messed up the input. And punish. You can air dash over, press a button, and interrupt the next one because it doesn't have a hitbox on the way back. You can do the Shuri this dash and get a punish on the reflect. Again, I'm not a Shuri player, but that's a punish as well. I think I'm missing one or two more. The point of, oh wait, actually I am missing a few more. You can call assist, so you can jump over, call assist on the return, and if you just time the assist right, it'll actually punish Cap. I'm sure I'm missing other ways. I think the point I'm trying to get at is, especially during a beta, there's so much we don't know about how the game's meant to be played. And so back to Sonic's point, this game has no mix, right? Take a look at this from Wawa. One, let me know if you got hit, but two, this game's gonna be a lot more degenerate than you think. Whether that's a good thing or a bad thing, I'm not sure, but you really have to let the meta develop. So this example, magic combo solo, cross up, right? All right. Keep in mind, you still have 2 assists available. You still have 2 things, so you can actually layer more things in if they get hit. And you died. Not only is there mix in this game, but you die off of it. And unlike other games, there's, not quite the same strength as defensive mechanics, and there is like some mitigation, right? So for example, if you back roll here, back roll and neutral tech have different get up frames, so there is some way to mitigate that if you're a ball knower. This isn't like a true 50-50 per se, but there is actual mix. I'll show you a couple other. There's like some characters, the way I see this game, it's like there's some characters that have setup and there's some characters that have actual mix. Blade, for example, I think is a setup character, where I think a character like Ghost Rider is an actual mixed character. Green Goblin is another example of a mixed character. Actually, that's who I've been playing, so I'll show you some of the stuff I've been coming up with him. But there is actually really good mix in this game. Example, Ghost Rider. That's an overhead. 16 frame startup. Keep in mind, You can get assist, full combo, and you can layer some things on top of that, right? Another example is Green Goblin. Anytime he goes into this stance, he can do a low, or he can go. Well, that's a low. This is a low.
Okay.
This is an overhead. You might think, oh, I could just react to the low. Yeah, let me know if you reacted to this. He can fake out the low and go for an overhead. Another thing he can do, he can go for this and then go into overhead. There's mixed, you have to look for it, right? And usually requires like a little bit of setup. You see, this does take a little bit of time to set up, but you know, if your opponent gets wall splatted, for example, then you can actually set up the mix. But I do agree with some of the other points that people are bringing up. So this is super new. It does appear that a lot of the 2xKO players do not like this game. I actually like both. I think both 2xKO and Tokon are both great games, to be honest. I'm not gonna say this, but yeah, you get the idea. Constantly, it feels like I'm fighting the game system to get anything I want. Sluggish movement, 4-button Gatling limit. He must have been pissed because he's not even spelling right. Input reader and assist calls in general. So I actually agree with 3 of these points. I agree with 3 of these points, right? The sluggish movement, I think the movement's actually pretty good. I mean, again, air dashes are quite fast in this game. Dashes feel good. Especially compared to, again, what's the most popular fighting game currently? Street Fighter 6. I think the movement feels, it's a more movement heavy game than Street Fighter 6. In fact, I actually like the fact that, you know, it does feel a little bit slower than like other tag games that there's just so much going on. Not that there isn't much going on here when there's a bunch of assists, but I think it's pretty cool. It's a cool, refreshing take, in my opinion, that the game's a little bit slower. That being said, I do agree with some of the other feedback that I'm hearing. So one, I think this is just kind of counterintuitive, and I do wish they changed this. Again, to me, it's not like, these aren't deal breakers, right? Like, I still really like the game. Am I gonna like it in a few months when everyone's doing, you know, bullshit like this? I don't know, we'll see. Obviously, like, I haven't been hit with anything like this, and, you know, Wawa's still in the lab, and this is just posted less than 24 hours ago. We're still trying to figure stuff out. But the game's gonna develop, and it's really hard for me to say, like, it's hard for anyone to predict the direction that the meta is going, right? So I hate to make like overarching judgments to say, hey, this mechanic needs to be changed, this needs to be changed, unless it's quality of life. And I think that's why I kind of agree with Super Noon's take here, is that there are a few really interesting quality of life things that don't exist in other games. I mean, there aren't an issue in other games, but an issue in this game specifically. So 4-button Gatling limit, this is really annoying. I think this is really counterintuitive. Where if you do, so like a lot of characters B&Bs, it's something like this, right? You launch them up, and then you do like an air combo, and then you continue the combo. If you've ever dropped this, the reason why is because if you do jab, jab, medium, medium, you can't go into heavy. You're limited to 4 grounded moves. It's actually like, it's actually really silly. So like, if I accidentally press jab, jab, I have to go into like, I basically have to spend assist there. To me, it's just an arbitrary rule that's like kind of restrictive for no reason. Like, I don't think being able to do an extra jab in your block string is gonna like break the meta, right? So I do agree with them. Input reader. I, in particular, have one issue with the input reader. One, I think it stores like 2 inputs a little bit long, so I'll just be dashing around and like I'll try to do a 2L, but like occasionally I'll get that and I'll die. But the main one I see people complaining about that I do agree they should fix is DP motion. So if I do in any game, if I do forward, half circle forward, I mean forward, quarter circle forward, I get a DP. In this game, you sometimes get, it's really weird. I'm actually getting it now, but occasionally I just won't get DP motion. And the way I figured out around this, let me see if I can actually like, yeah, so something like that would normally give you DP in like other games. I'm trying to do it, but it's like, It only happens to me in match. And so what I do is if I end on down forward, I always get the motion. And sometimes I've been just doing quick skill just to, you know, make the input reader work in my favor. But I do feel like I do have an arbitrary amount of commands that do not come out properly. Let's put it that way. Exactly what, I'm not really sure. It just feels like I get random misinputs. So I do kind of get that. And assist calls in general, if I actually could give one feedback, a lot of people are saying that they're a little counterintuitive, right? So for example, if I want to call, like, for example, 2x scale or Nen impact, right? I can call like assist anytime. So like if I'm doing something like this, I can call assist during that, right? There's some situations where I think you can always get assist, but it's the tagging that like gets me, right? So like you think I would be able, like, all right, I got tagged there, right? I couldn't get tagged there. The rule is you have to have like at least a little bit of like, it has to be a not true block string, which is like kind of counterintuitive. And then once they are like fully recovered, then you can tag. I don't know if that's good. The other thing I hear a lot about assist is they recover really fast. So basically right when they go off screen, they're almost always back. So it's like doing something like this is like very insanely strong and it carries very little risk. You can do this, move around a little bit, and then do it again. And you just cover so much of the screen. It's very, very non-committal. And also, I think like you see how like you can make block strings like really, really long. Like even though like I can't really mix, I fucked it up there. But like this shit is insanely long. And like obviously I'm in training mode, so it comes back a little quicker, but you do get your pips, these assist meters back like really, really fast. Not to mention there's ways that you can like circumvent this. Like let me see if I can get, like if I'm not in hit stun, see like how I got assist there without using assist meter. Like there's a lot of like really jank ways to like do block strings without like actually using your assist meter too. Yeah, I do see some of the feedback. I don't agree with all of it. Like so for example, like offensive defensive mechanics are poorly thought out. Crossover counter is too weak but also too strong. Are you scared? I don't know, man. It's too early. It's too early. It does feel like the game might become too oppressive. A mechanic being too weak and too strong, I don't know. The idea behind that is like if they don't have meter, it's basically guaranteed it's really strong. And if they do have an assist meter, then it's really bad because they can counter it. But to me, it's like it encourages, you know, proper use management of the of your meter, right? And maybe if the meter came back a little shorter, then it would actually solve all the issues, right? And this is why, like, I think this game needs a little time to cook, let the meta cook, because again, we're running tournaments and people are not even close to optimal, right? But yeah, that's my thoughts on Marvel Tokon. I think the game overall, it's great. I think it looks great. The music's great. Obviously, there's some PC port issues. Oh my God, this is actually my biggest issue. I entered TNS. I got top 8, but I played against Bleed, and it looked kind of like this. I'm gonna win this, and then I'm gonna go to this. This wasn't against Bleed, but there's one-sided rollback in this game, where I have 8 frames of rollback, my opponent has 0. Literally unplayable actually in tournament. I don't know why I entered the tournament with money on the line, but yeah, it's they need to fix the PC port. Like to me, this is the #1 issue. Like I don't care about any of this other shit. Like yeah, it'd be nice for like the Gatlings to be here. I'm a player. Like I'll manage it, right? Like I can get used to it. I cannot get used to this. If this game launches like this, absolutely fucking not. I'm hell not playing it, bro. This is some of the most miserable gaming of my life. And apparently this guy was streaming and like popping off. And he's like, haha. Don't even get me started, bro. Don't even get me started. But yeah, I think the point I'm trying to get out of this video is I think Marvel Tokon got a lot of things going for it. I think 2xKO has a lot of things going for it. For some reason, my chat, Twitter, YouTube, it seems very divisive, and I think they're both games with different strengths. I like playing 2xKO because it feels very fast-paced, and it feels like there's a lot of stuff going on. I like the slowness of 2xKO sometimes. I like being able to feel like feeling comfortable like I can just block out things, right? I feel like I can like actually think a lot of the time, where 2xQ just has to be it's so quick that you don't even have time to think. I like different paces. I like different styles of games. I hope Marvel Tokon sticks to their vision, because I how I feel about 2xQ listening to Twitter too much, and I think this game got a lot of potential. Don't let influencers, including me, tell you what game to like and not like, because personal preferences. I don't like mashed potatoes. I won't tell you not to eat mashed potatoes, right? Different strokes for different folks. I like both games, and really curious to see how the final release is going to go, because I think there's something special here. It just needs to come out in a non-broken state, like this. There's a lot going for it. The music, the graphics, even the characters themselves are really cool. There's a lot of like random, like cool conversions. I like the 4-player thing. I think that's really neat. Hope for the best on launch. Anyways, guys, let me know what you think about Marvel Tokon. Like, share, subscribe, and take care, y'all. Peace.